What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today it is time for another movie review. And I will be telling you guys what I thought about Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the third and not final installment in the Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise. Now, look, before I get deep into this thing, I would like to give you a heads up. I will be getting into spoilers in this video because I feel like the movie has been out for a while now, and most people who are interested in seeing the film has already watched it. However, your boy has just got around to checking it out. So today, I would like to tell you what I thought about it. So this video will start off as that of a review and evolve to that of a discussion. Now look, before I get started, do your boy three major favors. Please hit that subscribe button. And if y'all gonna hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. And don't forget to hit that like button to help me out that algorithm, baby. Now let's get into today's review. First up, the synopsis. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite to battle Shadow, a mysterious new enemy with powers unlike anything they have faced before. With their abilities outmatched in every way, they seek out an unlikely alliance to stop Shadow and protect the planet. So that is the synopsis, right? Now, this film pretty much begins with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 left off at, they're talking about Project Shadow, and we're introduced to that of Agents of Gun, and they are on this detail to watch over that of Shadow and keep him asleep. Now, you see the computer, kind of flicker, and Dr. Robotics symbol comes up on that, and all of a sudden Shadow starts waking up. Now, that introduction to Shadow when he broke out of that glass was absolutely fantastic. Like I said, look, this is what I am coming to watch this film for. I want to see how badass Shadow is. And right off back, they established how badass the character actually is, right? Now, after that scene, you fast forward to that of Team Sonic, right? Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic, right? And they're having fun. They're just chilling, you know what I'm saying? They're just having some fun. And all of a sudden, we go back to Knuckles, and he's just destroying things into the city. He's looking all mad and stuff like that. And then we go back to that of Sonic. A helicopter's coming down. Gun needs their help. That's right. Shadow is an unstoppable force, and there's a reason for that, right? So they fight Shadow. All right, Shadow whoops all of their asses, like for real, all three of them. Knuckles come out of there, talk about, look, I'm 1000% muscle, and here comes Shadow, pow, pow, boom, boom, and he was hurt. He was hurt. Sonic didn't stand a chance, and they just was put in a position where they had to retreat pretty much. Well, Shadow disappeared, but they had to retreat, and they go about their day. They're trying to have fun. They're thinking about this and thinking about that, and all of a sudden they're attacked by that of some thrones, right? So they think that it's Dr. Eggman, and come to find out it's not him. It's not Eggman. It is someone else, right? So they seek out Eggman, and there you have it. The alliance is complete. They go on this adventure to find out who this mysterious imposter is and who is behind that of Shadow, right? So that's how this film begins, and that's pretty much the story and the synopsis, right? Now, let me tell you about things that I dislike. The editing of this film, it wasn't on par with that of the first two Sonic the Hedgehog movies, right? And I understand that these films aren't really targeted towards me as an adult, but I do feel like as a movie, you have to still accomplish the job, right? And the editing was all over the place. Like I told you before, we're cutting back in the beginning of the movie. And I'm like, okay, look, y'all got to slow it down just a little bit. Try to tell a story. Just try to tell it. I understand that you're trying to go about this, let me show you the story aspect, but tell it. That's it. Just tell it. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I would say is that is part of my dislike. It would be that of the story itself. Don't get me wrong. I do understand that when it comes down to these video game movies, we cannot expect them to be on the level of that of the creator. You know what I'm saying? Great, fantastic, realistic films, right? But I feel like the story is definitely a little bit too childish, right? Especially how Eggman and Team Sonic teams up. You know, it wasn't even no conflict there. It was an instant, let's do this, right? Let's just do this, you know? And I'm like, okay. I don't like the way that this story is evolving. You know what I'm saying? But the story of this movie is nowhere on par of the first two Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, maybe to you, but to your bro, not so much, right? All right, what else I disliked about this thing? I feel like the humans, you know, the mom and daddy, I can't think about their names, but the guy who plays Cyclops and his old lady, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this film didn't need them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they were just wasted space. Even though they're not in the film a whole lot, I do feel that this movie didn't need them in it. Maybe an after credit scene or something like that. But as far as them being added to this film, or should I say being part of this entire movie, I feel like they should have not been in there. And maybe they could have saved some budget with that. I don't know. So that is my dislikes. Now, let's talk about my likes. Jim Carrey. Bit bad. This film is classic Jim Carrey. Right. Don't get me wrong. In some parts, it does feels like, okay, Jim Carrey, you're getting a little bit too old for this. But it is Jim Carrey. He always executes his role well. Did you watch the film, the amazing, wonderful something, Burt Wonderstone, or whatever it was? It started. Steve Carell starred in the film, but Jim Carrey played this musician, right, who was on the screen and he was taking over the game, and he played that role so well, man, and it was classic Jim Carrey. And I feel the same way with this, right? Jim Carrey is the reason why most of us bought a ticket, and he did not let me down at all. Team Sonic, like I said, the relationship between all three of them and how it breaks down and builds itself back up. Loved it. Shadow. I love Shadow. Keanu Reeves, he played the character, well, voice that is, well. He brought a certain attitude to the table, right? It was a complete contrast of which Sonic is, and even Knuckles, right? Shadow is on a whole different level here, baby. All right, what else? The runtime isn't too long. I believe it's like an hour and 29 minutes, something along those lines. Yeah, hour and 29 minutes, hour and 49 minutes. So the perfect runtime. Don't get me wrong, the editing may attribute to that, but you go in, you sit down, you watch a film, you don't feel like you have been sitting there all day. So with that being said, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 isn't boring and it's not fantastic, but I will say this. It is okay. Now, my 7-year-old thought that it was amazing, right? So I feel like this film is more targeted towards kids like him, which is great. They get to grow up with these characters as me and you did, right? A whole new generation, right? In a whole different way. Like right now, these Sonic the Hedgehog films has made my son a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog in games. That's right. He has all of them now. And he has it across multiple consoles, right? On my damn PlayStation, he's got Sonic the Hedgehog games, and on his Switch, he has Sonic the Hedgehog games. So he loves Sonic, and these films are what caused him to be in love with Sonic. So with that being said, I would give Sonic the Hedgehog 3 a 7 out of 10. Look, it's not amazing, but it is a fun time at the movies. Now let's get into these spoilers. That's right, it's time to talk about these spoilers. So I know a lot of people doesn't like spoilers, but as you know, this video is long overdue, right? I was supposed to be and do this. All right, let's talk about spoilers. Now, in this movie, we find out that the mysterious person behind unlocking that shadow and who hijacked Eggman's technology is his grandfather, right? So I found the introduction of him, the old man, very hilarious, right? Like the moment he walked in the door, I thought that Eggman was going to jump all over him, and it wasn't like that at all. Eggman had to interrogate this man, ask him some impossible questions, and the way he answered to me, like, "Oh my son," blah, 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 blah. He nailed it, man. Like I said, Jim Carrey was the best thing about this movie. All the way, man. Top tier. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be upset when I cannot go sit down and watch a Jim Carrey movie again, man. I swear to you, man. That guy is amazing. And I like the fact that even when they recognized that they were family, they had this moment where they said to each other, it's almost, and at the same time here, it's almost like we're the same actor playing two different characters in the movie. And they turn and look at the camera, and I'm like, yeah, man, that was executed so damn great, man. All right, what else on the spoilers? Okay, Shadow's motivation. You know, we find out that Shadow's motivation is Gunn turned on them back in the days, 50 years ago, right? And they were shooting at Eggman's grandfather, his granddaughter, and Shadow. And they hit this containment unit, right? And it exploded, and Eggman's grandfather's granddaughter died, whom Shadow had a very close relationship with, right? So that is his motivation here. And I like that flashback, man. I like that they really showed us what motivates Shadow, right? The only thing that he was able to get close to in his planet, the world took it away from him. So he was upset about that. And he and Dr. Eggman Sr., let's just call him that, they had that in common. So they were working together to accomplish this goal, and I feel that the goal that they were trying to accomplish was something that is redundant, but they managed to make it feel unique. And that goal was a weapon that goes out in space and shoots down chaos energy, which is powered by that of Shadow, who is the source of this chaos energy. Now, one blast from this thing can rip the planet apart, right? So Shadow and Sonic, they embark on this battle, and both of them somehow become super hedgehogs. And they were flying and fighting and flying and fighting, Dragon Ball Z style, Man of Steel style. They were all over the place. And I was like, look, that is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely. I said, I thought all of the action was going to be shown in the trailers. I had no idea y'all were going to be out here looking like that of Goku and Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? They was tearing it down, man. And I ain't talking about just on the planet, right? They took this thing all the way to space. They were all on the moon, tearing it down. Now, I do have problems with how they're able to hear each other on that of the moon. There's no sound in space. I feel like these movies needs to correct that and understand if you cannot make it make sense, don't make it happen, right? As you know, many films like to act like you can talk in space. No, the hell you can't. You can't talk in space. But somehow, some way, they managed to have a conversation on the moon. And they team up. So Eggman Sr., he sees this and he sends out these drone robots, right, to fight. They look like Transformers, right? And all of a sudden they both go super hedgehog and they're zipping around this thing, man, fighting, boom, boom, boom. Shadow, who seems to be more powerful, he's throwing projectiles, man. He did like this and some arrows came out and they start hitting the thing. I said, look, this team up is awesome, right? I love every bit of it. I was like, yeah, some of it doesn't make sense, but it is awesome. So, lo and behold, this thing is out of control. This gun, let's just call it that, is out of control. And Eggman, that's right, Eggman decided to do the right thing in the end. So he and Shadow, they partner up to stop this thing from exploding to where the chaos energy will rain on Earth. They need to get it farther away from the planet so all of this debris from the chaos energy won't fall into the atmosphere, right? And ruin all the crops. So Eggman and Shadow partners up and they save the planet. I was like, okay, yeah, Eggman got some redemption here. He rather rule the planet then destroy it. And I like that aspect of Eggman's character. If he doesn't come back, man, we're going to miss him. And I say that because this film sets up a part 4. That's right. We're introduced to an after credit scene. And Sonic, he's chilling, and this mechanical version of him attacks him. Now, he believes that it was one, so he destroys that one, and about 50 more pop up. And he's saved by another character. I don't know her name right now. She's on the video games for sure. He's saved by this character, right? And he looks up and he says something. And I'm like, okay, that's a Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Then we're introduced to a second after credit scene of Shadow picking up his rings and putting it back on his wrist. So at first you thought Shadow died, but he didn't die. He survived. That's right. So I am leaning towards so did Eggman. So I'm hoping so. And I say that because I want this franchise to continue. I know some people will say, man, it's getting old, it's getting redundant, but Sonic the Hedgehog has some deep lore, man. You can always introduce things. Like right now, Sonic is put in a position where he can go back to his roots. And I mean that as, remember in part 1, someone was trying to kidnap that of Sonic, right? And the woman who raised him had to push him away, put him on Earth, right? You could go back and get a whole nother trilogy off of that. You don't even have to be on this planet anymore. So that is why this franchise is set up in the perfect way. Love every bit of it. And I'm going to be very excited to see if that of Jim Carrey return to that of the franchise. Now, you heard how I feel about it. Let me tell you how everybody else feel about it. On Rotten Tomatoes, 88% after 100 reviews. That is all critics. And no top critics has put in a review yet. That's odd. 95 fresh, 13 rotten. 6.8 out of 10 rating. That's pretty much where I put it at. Audience score, 97% after 2,500 verified ratings. 4.7 out of 5 rating. All audience, same. 97%, 4.7 out of 5 rating at the 5,000 ratings. Look, so audience are loving it, man. And we know they are loving it because of the cinema score. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 managed to get an A cinema score. So the legs are going to be very good. And speaking of the reception, Sonic is whipping Mufasa's ass. This is coming from Fox 8 Live. Now, this is my local news. Sonic 3 best Mufasa the Lion King at the box office. All right. In the holiday season battle of big budget family movies, Paramount Pictures Sonic the Hedgehog 3 sped past the Walt Disney Company Mufasa the Lion King to take the top spot at the box office ahead of Christmas holidays. Well, the holidays. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 debuted with $62 million, while that of Mufasa debuted with $35 million. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3 almost did double of that of Mufasa. And over on boxofficemojo.com, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 sits at $61 million worldwide. That's $60 million domestically and $1 million overseas. And I believe that's because the film is set to open in all of its markets today, which is Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. That's right. And Mufasa sits at $147 million worldwide, $42 million domestically, and $105 million internationally. So I believe that Mufasa may very well go over $400 million worldwide. Could be a little bit higher. But as it stands right now, I don't know where Sonic is going to land because I do not have that overseas number. Now, we could say that this is the Christmas holidays and basically $60 million domestic opening. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 could very well see itself heading to about $150-200 million domestically. We don't know, but we will definitely have to check this thing out over the next few weeks. Sorry about that. And Paramount is also happy. Another headline here before I get out of here. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 in the works. That is the reason why I told you guys that it isn't the third and final installment in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. All right. While little has been shared about Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Paramount is eyeing a release for the movie in spring of 2027. So, there you have it. Sonic the Hedgehog is a successful franchise. Paramount is happy. And as you can see, the average moviegoer is happy as well. So, I'm your boy O. Hopefully you have watched this video all the way to the end, help you brought that algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, please be sure to do so. Trying to reach that magical number of 10,000 subscribers. So I'd be highly appreciative. You will help me cross over that threshold by hitting that subscribe button. And if y'all gonna hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. And don't forget to hit that like button. To help me out that algorithm, baby. But in the comments below, if you have seen Sonic the Hedgehog 3, let me know what you think about the film. And also, do you agree with my dislikes and my likes? And tell me what you think about Sonic absolutely destroying Mufasa at the domestic box office. And also, tell me what you think about that Sonic the Hedgehog 4 announcement. And always remember, laissez le bon temps rouler. That means let the good times roll. But let me know in the comments below.